My name is Brenda Davis. My presentation is about the Hubble Space Telescope, and I decided to use the tune and chorus of an old Manfred Mann song and create some new lyrics about the Hubble Space Telescope. Up to the turn of the 20th century, most astronomers believed the universe consisted of one galaxy, which they had named the Milky Way. By 1924, a man named Edwin Hubble had used a 100-inch telescope on Mount Wilson near Los Angeles, California, to study other galaxies. However, Earth's atmosphere prevented a clear view. Scientists began thinking, why not put a telescope above the Earth's atmosphere? That's where the idea came from for the Hubble Space Telescope. Perceived advantages of observing from space included that the atmosphere wouldn't block or blur images, the detail would be extraordinary, and it would enhance potential benefits of a space program. The specific idea of the Hubble Space Telescope was first conceived in the 1940s, and the apparatus was initially called the Large Space Telescope. By July 1957, Congress officially passed the Space Act, which created the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA. NASA chose Marshall Space Flight Center in Alabama as the lead NASA field center and Goddard Space Flight Center in Maryland to be the leader in the scientific instrumentation design and ground control of the Large Space Telescope. The telescope was designed to use two mirrors laid out in a Cassegrain design to collect and focus light. After light travels down the length of the telescope, it hits the concave or bowl-shaped primary mirror. The light reflects off the primary mirror and travels back toward the front of the telescope. The planned Large Space Telescope project faced many challenges from its inception, and problems continued even after it was finally launched. The initial problem was money. Funding for the Large Space Telescope project was not approved by Congress until 1977. Grinding of the 7.9-foot primary mirror began in December 1978 at the Perkin-Elmer Corporation Large Optics Fabrication Facility in Danbury, Connecticut. In 1983, the Large Space Telescope was renamed the Hubble Space Telescope in honor of astronomer Edwin Hubble, because he first recognized the need and benefits for a space telescope, and Hubble had also proved there were other galaxies in our universe, and they are moving away from our Milky Way galaxy at an increasing speed the farther away they are. So here is what the Hubble ended up looking like. Have I got it? Yeah, I got it right, said it. And you can see Earth and Florida down below. All the pieces were finally coming into place to launch the Hubble when, tragically, the Space Shuttle Challenger broke apart 73 seconds after launch on January 28, 1986. The Space Shuttle program was halted for 32 months in order to investigate the accident and make necessary improvements. But finally, on April 24, 1990, Space Shuttle Discovery launched from Kennedy Space Center in Florida, carrying 5 astronauts and the Hubble Space Telescope. More problems were discovered after Hubble was launched, though. Though Hubble's primary mirror was ground to the right smoothness, it was not ground to the correct curvature. Soon after it was launched, operators discovered that the observatory's primary mirror had a spherical aberration about 1/50th the thickness of a human hair in the grinding of the mirror. The result was that not all portions of the mirror focused to the same point. This tiny flaw proved devastating to the quality of the Hubble's images and to the efficiency of all its instruments. Other problems included sporadic communication dropouts, drifting star trackers, and snagged coaxial cables. The Hubble Space Telescope had been placed in a low Earth orbit so it would be accessible by the Space Shuttle, where it could be repaired and maintained by astronauts, and astronauts had been trained to make those necessary repairs. December the 2nd through the 13th, 1993, which was about 3.5 years after it was launched, astronauts installed new instruments, including equipment adjusted to correct the flaw in Hubble's primary mirror. There were 7 or 8 Hubble Space Telescope repair missions, the last one around 2009. The Hubble Space Telescope is credited with several major accomplishments and discoveries. Even with its problems, only a few months after being in orbit, Hubble's improved resolution showed that its images were roughly 50% sharper than ground-based images. In one of the telescope's first science results, Hubble observed the remnants of supernova 1987A. In unprecedented detail, Hubble revealed characteristics in a shell of material surrounding the supernova. Hubble observations from 1990 that detail the remnants of supernova 1987A also provided an unexpected bonus: an accurate determination of the distance to the Large Magellanic Cloud, a satellite galaxy of the Milky Way and the supernova's galactic home. The distance was measured at 190,000 light-years with a 5% accuracy. Interesting things the Hubble has revealed to us include various supernovas, which are referred to as the explosive deaths of stars, including a mysterious superbubble in a gap or hole measured to be about 250 light-years wide, and even an odd dwarf galaxy blowing huge bubbles of glowing gas. Here are a couple of Hubble photographs of galactic bubbles. Here's one that you can see, dark, surrounded by these light images. And here's another that you can see the circle glowing. In March 1991, Hubble took its first observations of the planet Jupiter. Those stills feature the Great Red Spot, a huge storm on Jupiter. The legacy of the Hubble Space Telescope includes revolutionizing humanity's understanding of the universe. The Hubble is one of humanity's greatest scientific instruments. It's been useful in determining the age of the universe and in observing dramatic changes in celestial bodies in our solar system. The Hubble Space Telescope is expected to last through the mid-2020s. NASA has signed a contract with SpaceX to study the possibility of reboosting the aging Hubble Space Telescope into a higher orbit, but this is just a study. A bigger, 100 times more powerful successor to Hubble, called the James Webb Telescope, was launched on December 25, 2021. Hubble is in a very close orbit around the Earth, but Webb will be 1.5 million kilometers away and has already provided a wealth of new information about our vast universe. In closing this presentation, as promised, I'm going to sing my version of Manfred Mann's Hubble Bubble song with the lyrics I wrote about the Hubble Bubble Space Telescope. Perhaps it will help someone remember some of the many interesting facts about the Hubble Space Telescope. Looking at the sky on a bright and starry night, gazing through a telescope, what an amazing sight. Edwin Hubble wished that he could see above the atmosphere, because he knew the view would be so much clearer way up there. But there's just one thing I want to say: Hubble bubble, toil and trouble. Wish we could build a rocket that would take a telescope up above our atmosphere. Is it too much to hope? We could see the Milky Way and even look beyond to galaxies that must be out there. Perhaps we're not alone, but there's just one thing I want to say: Hubble bubble, toil and trouble. We finally got her up there, but what's wrong with this chick now? The photographs are fuzzy, so what's the problem now? It's been money, mirrors, aberrations, poor communication. They sent astronaut mechanics with some new instrumentation. But there's just one thing I want to say: Hubble bubble, toil and trouble. But oh, what sharper images the Hubble finally sent. 50% better than those ground-based images. Supernova Jupiter, which has a great red spot. Nebulae, gas clouds, and much to our surprise, celestial bodies blowing bubbles way up in the sky. But there's just one thing I want to say: Hubble bubble, toil and trouble.